This video is brought to you by Cape, the one-source app to the world of mixed martial arts. Follow the link below to cape.tv, with a K, to sign up for updates and a chance to win a walk-on role in the next installment of the Kickboxer movie franchise.
These are the ultimate fantasy opponents for the Dark Knight. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 characters we want to see Batman fight. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at characters who we think would make for exciting, intriguing, and entertaining foes for the Caped Crusader. However, we will only be focusing on characters Batman has not fought before in any comic, film, or video game officially licensed by DC Comics. Number 10, Wolverine.
Guys, seriously, you don't want to do this.
Can the Dark Knight match Logan's brute force? Interestingly enough, a subtle connection was established between the Dark Knight and Weapon X when Wolverine's mask was redesigned by artist Gil Kane for the cover of Giant Size X-Men #1, and bore a striking resemblance to Batman's cowl. Although Wolverine's healing factor, enhanced senses, and adamantium claws would likely give him a tremendous advantage over the mere mortal Batman, given that Batman has beaten plenty of metahumans in his time makes us think this would be far from a quick fight. Number 9, Hellboy.
Take the hint.
We don't take hints.
Batman's iconography draws on cultural associations between bats and demons. So what if the Dark Knight found himself fighting a genuine demon? Conjured up from hell by Nazis during World War II, Hellboy was later discovered by the Allied forces and grew to become a superheroic paranormal investigator. Batman would definitely have his hands full in this fight, as Hellboy's demonic origins granted him a healing factor, superhuman strength, and the godlike right hand of doom. Although he has nowhere near the hand-to-hand combat training Batman does, we can imagine Hellboy would still put up one hell of a fight.
I'm not gonna kill him, Abe. But I am gonna kick his ass.
Number 8, Freddy Krueger. While Batman tries to give his enemies nightmares, Freddy makes a habit of living in them. As if being a child molester wasn't evil enough, Freddy Krueger returned from the dead after being burned alive as a ghostly boogeyman who stalks and murders his victims in their sleep. Once in the dream realm, we imagine Freddy would definitely have the upper hand, or upper claw, until Batman got the hang of using his dream powers. After all, if a bunch of mentally disturbed teenagers can handle him, we're pretty sure the Caped Crusader can give him a run for his money.
I'll be able to go into your brain, even if you're wide awake.
My brain's not a nice place to be.
Number 7, Darth Vader. Batman would definitely be facing an uphill battle against a Force user as powerful as Darth Vader. Vader's mastery of the dark side of the Force would make him more than a match for the Caped Crusader, but throw his iconic red lightsaber and things aren't looking good for Batman. However, if there's one thing you can always rely on Batman for, it's his ability to prepare and adapt to his opponents. Number 6, Adam Jensen. A heavily augmented warrior and former SWAT specialist, Adam Jensen has more than a few things in common with the Dark Knight. Aside from being stoic loners and obsessive personalities, Adam and Batman share a deep concern for innocent civilians as well as a distrust of authority. However, strong personalities tend to clash, so we could easily see these two butting heads. Unlike Batman, Adam's arsenal is part of his physical body as opposed to being housed in a utility belt, with nearly half of his body having undergone some form of augmentation. With enhanced physical abilities, accuracy, and sweet nanoceramic blades, Adam would pose a unique challenge to Batman. Number 5, Moon Knight.
And now, foul demon, face the vengeance of the Moon Knight.
Among all the characters frequently cited as Marvel's answer to Batman, one of the most consistent candidates is Moon Knight. Also known as Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and Jake Lockley, Moon Knight is a superhero known for his fighting abilities, gadgets, and often confusing multiple personalities. A slightly exaggerated and unhinged version of the Dark Knight, Moon Knight has been a boxer, assassin, US Marine, and superhero over the course of his enigmatic life. Granted superhuman powers by the moon god Khonshu, Moon Knight also possesses a variety of Egyptian-inspired weapons, which serve as a subtle nod to Batman's bat-themed weapons. Needless to say, this fight would be awesome. Number 4, Jason Voorhees. While Jason has already died plenty of times in the Friday the 13th franchise, Batman probably won't have to worry about upholding his no-killing rule for this fight. After surviving being hung, stabbed, shot, drowned, and burned, Jason is clearly a lot more durable than the street-level villains Batman usually deals with in Gotham. With this fact in mind, the Dark Knight would surely need to dig deep into his bag of tricks to defeat, or at least immobilize, Jason. Though Jason is far stronger than Batman, the Caped Crusader would unquestionably have the advantage when it comes to strategy, technique, and weaponry. Number 3, T-800.
I'll be back.
Batman has faced quite a few robots in his time, but perhaps never one quite like the Terminator. In addition to physical capabilities far beyond that of the average human, the T-800 also possesses programming that makes it a master of all documented military weapons. The T-800's neural processor also allows it to learn and study its opponents, making the Terminator an incredibly effective strategist and combat tactician. However, since human warriors like Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor have been able to defeat T-800s in the past, we think it's a safe bet that Batman wouldn't be out of his league if he had to contend with this relentless killing machine from a possible future. Number 2, Rorschach.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me!
Perhaps the darkest character in Alan Moore's Watchmen, Rorschach is a ruthless vigilante who lives by an uncompromising black and white code of morality. Although he doesn't have the luxury of Batman's state-of-the-art gadgets, Rorschach is very resourceful in his own right when it comes to turning household objects into weapons. As well as being a skilled detective and hand-to-hand combatant, Rorschach also uses a grappling gun similar to the one used by the Dark Knight. Although their upbringings are polar opposites, Batman and Rorschach are strikingly similar, which makes us think a fight between the two would be very entertaining. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Hogan!
God damn you! No, I
Whoa, hey! Good evening, Detective Lee. I told you we'd meet again to settle old accounts.
Number 1, Iron Man.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
While Bruce Wayne pretends to be an arrogant playboy philanthropist, Tony Stark actually is one. Unlike Batman, Tony's superhero epiphany happened well into his adulthood, which led him to forsaking his weapons business in favor of saving lives rather than creating machines to end them. While Batman has worn several armored suits throughout his career, none quite compare to the capabilities and firepower of Iron Man's. If there's one clear advantage Batman has, however, it is his incredible martial arts knowledge, which Iron Man is a bit short on. One thing's for sure, this fight would be epic.
This video is brought to you by Cape, the one-source app to the world of mixed martial arts, where you'll find unlimited news and information on your favorite fighters and organizations. You can even watch classic martial arts and action movies. Follow the link below to cape.tv, Cape with a K, to sign up for updates and a chance to win a walk-on role in the next installment of the Kickboxer